Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Forestry plays an integral role in the diversification of our economy. I have and continue to advocate for the forest industry to ensure that our resource remains viable, which allows forestry to further diversify and continue to stabilize Alberta's economy during economic downturns. This being said, forestry cannot continue to survive and be sustainable unless the government takes the lead on forest-related policy development. To the Minister of Forestry, what steps have you made to ensure a new softwood lumber agreement is reached?
Minister of Infrastructure.
Mr. Speaker, and forestry is a critical sector of our economy. Over 15,000 Albertans work in forestry, and the industry is a key economic driver in at least 70 Alberta communities, including many in the minister's own constituency. The minister wants to see a long-term solution which provides our industry with market access and certainty for years to come. This government will be working with the federal government, industry and other provinces to ensure Alberta's interests are well represented as we move forward with this process.
First supplementary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given that mountain pine beetle is expected to continue to spread west and that the areas affected continue to rise, and given that the mountain pine beetle is jeopardizing Alberta's forestry business and communities, to the Minister of Forestry, what is your government doing to help control the spread of mountain pine beetle?
Thank you very much for that question, Mr. Speaker. The minister just today signed an agreement with Saskatchewan to confirm their commitment to fight this infestation. This government is committing $35 million next year to fight the infestation of pine beetle, which is having a tremendously negative impact on one of our most important industries.
Second supplementary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given that discussions continue on the establishment of a caribou habitat areas, and given that forestry is one of the few industries that demonstrates exemplary land stewardship and land use planning with range plans prepared for 120 years into the future, and given that it's not carefully selected, these caribou habitats will affect access to fibre supply, to the Minister of Forestry, what are you doing to ensure that the forest industry is part of the consultation process?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Well, clearly, the preservation of caribou habitat is very important to this government, and I think it's something that should concern all Albertans. And the forestry industry has an important role to play. It's one of the most important industries in our province, as I said a bit earlier, Mr. Speaker, and certainly the views of the forestry industry with respect to this issue are of great importance to our government.